This is a Headgum podcast.
Hey, Dave.
Mark, nice to meet you.
Meet me? What you did my pod?
Shut. Okay, go ahead.
What?
Or you saw that.
The hesitation? Like you...
No,
where you wanted me.
Yeah, exactly. You just made an assumption, I think. That's all right.
I did.
But go ahead, sit there.
Sure?
Yeah.
Oh, we're back in the red chair now? That's okay. But is that what you want? Because I know you...
No, I wanted these two. Are we able to do that?
I switched it back for you this time.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, yes, you can have the blue chair or the red chair.
All right. Feels weird with the seat open between us.
Thank
I'll
you.
take this one.
So here's what happened is I came in. It had been a while since I'd done a podcast. I was out on the road, and I came in, and then they had reconfigured the room, and because this was the other day, right? Tony Shalhoub was here,
Whoa.
and I was not happy with it. I mean, I wasn't shitty or a diva or anything, but because of what you just said, I like, because, Tony was, just sit over there for 1 second.
Okay.
It's too far. It's too far away. It's too far. You got to sit over there.
Fighting.
Yeah. We're fighting. Yes. Well, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me. Sorry.
Yeah, and nothing to be sorry about. You're literally exactly on time. I don't know that that's ever happened.
Can I get from the kitchen?
I'll do a glass of water. No ice.
Why?
A, I think it takes up water room, and B, it clinks for the audio.
It does take up water room, but will eventually be water itself.
True, but I think it takes more than it gives. Like on the flight, I always go Coke Zero, no ice. I want every drop of that zero.
And you're from New Orleans.
Oh yeah, use my boy Patton out there on the road.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that until just recently. He had mentioned that, and and I get this a lot too, but there's I'm from Atlanta, but there's nothing New Orleans about you externally.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in the city, little liberal blue dot, and you go outside, it's fucking...
Oh, yeah. Same thing in Georgia. I mean, yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't have a twang. I don't have an accent. I feel like you go 10 minutes out and it's hee-haw-haw-haw, camo hat, sure. Gator hunting.
Yeah.
And I grew up, went to public school, the whole thing. So yeah, I don't have all the Cajun. Everybody's like, "Where's your alligator?" You don't have a shrimp for a pet.
That's that perception is silly. That's like just ignorance.
Yeah. It's like New Yorkers. No one's like, "Forget about it."
Yeah, right.
No,
Exactly.
That guy doesn't exist.
Which has always you don't see it as much anymore. But back when I was like a teenager in high school, and you'd see like there would be a pizza place that would open up, like New York style pizza or whatever, and there was a comic open micer who did this joke that used to fucking bug the shit out of me about, "Hey, have you been to because it was right down from where the club was. You been to the New York style pizza place? You go in, they go, 'Here's your fucking pizza.'" Like, that's not what they do.
That's not what they do.
They don't do that.
Exactly. They get shut down.
Yes, they get shut down. You probably lose business. You should. You might want to consider going and checking out.
There's a restaurant here called Peter Luger's. I don't know if you've been there. It's a steakhouse in Brooklyn, and they're a little cunty, and I think that's part of their shtick.
It's like Durgan, the place in Boston and Faneuil Hall.
Yes.
Durgan Park.
Durgan Park.
They're known. They're like, it's part of a shtick now. They've been around for 200 years, and the part of the shtick is they're don't take any guff waitresses. And there's a place in Atlanta where it's a burger place that this lady. It's like almost like a diner car. It's a small place, window, and she's got 97 rules that are written down. You can't swear. You can't do this, no that. And those are all right. I don't mind that. The Peter Luger thing is just dumb to me.
Yeah, I got to say, Atlanta, great comedy town. Much like New Orleans, hard to get a pinpoint on Atlanta because it's southern, but it's very super progressive, black, gay, but very industrious too, but still kind of...
When you say industrious too...
Well, they got skyscrapers.
Right. I think you want to be careful. You want to be careful about saying it's got black people and gay people and also people who work hard.
Well, I don't mean like that. I mean like it's a booming
That's
metropolis.
Why I'm clarifying it for the audience so that they don't...
You got your honky, you got your camo.
You got black people and gay people, and it's a city is what you mean. Oh, wait, you're married?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. I just noticed the ring there. How long you been married?
2 years-ish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so brand new.
I'm in there. I give it another year. No, I'm kidding. She's a good egg. I'm a lucky guy.
All right.
Clip that and send it to her.
What was I going to say? How long were you dating, or did you know her before you got married?
7 years.
Oh, that's a long time.
I pushed it as long as I could.
Yeah. I understand.
It's scary. I was scared to get married.
Of course.
Now it's once you're in it, it's not so bad. I'm scared of everything. Like she's pregnant, and I'm terrified of that.
Yeah, I mean, you should be. That's healthful. That's or healthy. That's normal. It's I mean, you'll do fine in everything, but I mean, I will tell you this as a father of an almost 8-year-old.
Really?
Yeah. Every cliche is absolutely true. Every single thing that you've heard people either bitch about or be elated about, every one of those fucking things is true.
Wow. Yeah, I keep hearing long nights, short years.
There's a better, I think, a more succinct one, which is every day is like a year, every year is like a day, and it's very true.
Wait a minute, every day is... Oh, wow, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, until they reach a certain age, but the first, I mean, fuck, man, my wife was leaving a lot in during the 2016 election, 18 election.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? No, 16, whatever it was. She was, doing stuff for Elizabeth Warren and stuff like that, and traveling a lot. And then I would be with my daughter, who at the time was 3.5, I guess, and maybe 4. But man, it was like by the end of the weekend, you're just exhausted. It's just me and her, and looking forward to it, always looking forward to it. And then just like after I get the whole having a glass of wine, wine moms, like after, Sunday night.
Sure.
After she went to bed, it was like, oh my God, that was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Oof. I'm not ready for that, because they're trying to kill themselves. They're touching outlets. They're putting everything in their mouth.
Oh yeah. It's nonstop, and it's not how far along is your wife?
7 months.
Okay, you can still abort it.
That's true.
You can go. I know a guy who knows a guy.
That's true. Okay. Well, give me that number when I leave, because you never know.
Okay. He takes I think,
Venmo?
No, Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Oh, even better.
So I don't know if you're on one of those plans.
I am not. I don't. I'm 41 years old. I have never had health insurance.
That's fucking crazy.
I'm trying to go the whole life.
So you'll live to be 42?
Yeah.
You got to get health insurance, dude.
I've never needed it. I rarely get sick.
That is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
I mean, I've
never
injuries.
needed it, so I don't have it.
You break a toe. I go into the urgent care.
Forget breaking a toe. I'm not talking about breaking a toe. First of all, you're 41 and you're a stand-up. Your body is going to break down quicker than other people's.
You think?
What do you eat?
I eat pretty good.
When you're on the road, what do you eat?
Percocet, Panda Express, Waffle House. No.
Percocets and Panda Express.
I'm off bread. That wasn't easy. And I drink one day a week. I drink. I used to drink every night.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good.
I don't do drugs.
Well, all right. Well, those are all good things, and you know, you'll be kind of forced to clean up more when your kid's born. Do you know if it's a boy or a girl?
Boy.
Yeah. Gay or straight?
We're waiting on that one.
Okay.
It's gonna breastfeed, so if it's gay, it's gonna be miserable.
Well, teach it early. You know. But yeah, you should be okay. But you should get health insurance. That's crazy.
Really?
I mean, yeah. I mean, in the United States.
What do I need it for?
I mean, I'm if you haven't figured that out, you know what the
like hit by a car kind of stuff you're talking about?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, or I don't know. Maybe there's a disease that is like, you know, spans the globe and people get it. And,
AIDS.
Maybe AIDS. You know.
Yeah, that is scary.
New AIDS. Super AIDS. Yeah.
There's a new AIDS?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. New and improved.
Ah.
But I mean, you're crazy not to get health insurance.
All right. I haven't needed it.
I don't know what to say. That is just the dumbest thing you could say. Do you? Hopefully, you never will need it.
Well, what if you pay for it every month and you never even use it? That's a waste of moolah.
Well, it's not a waste it would be a waste if you lived a very healthy life for the next, say, 40, 50 years, and never needed it, never got in an accident, never was subject to somebody else's, you know, on their phone while they're driving in traffic and whatever happens. Or maybe you get Lyme disease. Maybe you get a bite from a tick and not aware of it and you get Lyme. Maybe you get, I mean, there's a million things. Maybe there's some germs somewhere. You stay in a hotel, you're on the road, you're not even aware of it. You get some mouth from the shower head. I mean, water from the shower head in your mouth, and who knows what that has, and blah, blah, blah. Whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Then you're so sick. I've had a couple of surgeries. I had a whole major rotator cuff, like replacement tendon thing. I had I can't remember what this one was called. It's whatever the golfer's elbow is.
Oh yeah.
It's this. I can't remember the name of it, but I had to have this all done. And this is the United States. Like if I didn't, also dental insurance too. I have. I mean, things that would have cost, I mean, multiple tens of thousands of dollars. I mean, with this one in particular, I mean, we're talking over six figures for everything, all in the PT and everything. And I have insurance. So
really? Okay. Well, now you're making a good case.
But I also have, I have insurance through my unions, you know, SAG-AFTRA and WGA.
Yeah.
And have for a while. I mean, I've had WGA since the early 90s. So that's it's been really, really helpful.
Yeah, I had the rotator cuff. I had that too. That is the worst. It hurts to lift your arm. And I watched a YouTube video on how to cure it, and I fixed it.
I mean, I don't know what to say.
It's good as new. Never had one problem with it.
Then you didn't really have a issue with it before.
But it was bad. I couldn't sleep.
Okay. What did they tell you? How do you fix it?
It said hang on a bar for as long as you can. It'll align you. And
so it wasn't ripped tendons. You didn't have torn tendons.
No, I guess it wasn't tendon. But to do this, it was like,
So it was out of alignment.
Maybe that was it.
Okay, well then, yeah, hang on a bar.
I hung on a bar, and I'm back, baby.
Okay. But, I'm talking about a different injury. Like when you see pitchers and they get Tommy John.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Gotcha. Sorry, I feel like I let you down. I'm going to get health insurance.
I mean,
my parents think I have it, so let's cut that.
So wait, so your whole thing about not having insurance is because you save, you know, whatever your premium is a month, you get to save that. And what do you spend that money on?
Well, I got a child on the way.
No. Before you were pregnant, before you even got married, what would you spend the couple $100 that you didn't spend on healthcare?
I could save it.
Health insurance.
I can go out to a nice dinner. I can buy a pair of pants.
So is a pair of pants and a nice dinner a month worth, let's say you have need an appendectomy, right?
Yeah.
Which a bunch of people do, and out of the blue, boom.
What is that? Appendectomy.
When your appendix is on the verge of bursting.
Got it.
And if it does burst, then it's serious and very toxic. If not, you're just in a lot of pain, but you still have to do it quickly. And then you had to spend, let's say, 20 years worth of monthly dinner and a pair of pants.
Yeah.
And first of all, let me say, that's a lot of pair of pants. That's a lot of pants.
True.
You don't need that many pants.
These are Amazon.
That's silly. That's just silly to have that many pants.
I couldn't think of anything. I looked at the pants.
And then how are you going to feel about it?
Yeah, I hear you. But I'm in the. If it was a casino, I'm winning. Because I had not gone to the hospital, so that's just all. I'm all up. I'm in the black.
But this is not a casino.
That's true.
So you're not winning. You're just at stasis. You're at you're okay.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. It's kind of like when you get a parking ticket or whatever, and you go, I'm going to fight it, and then you beat the ticket, and people go, you won. And you're like, well, what did I win? I went to court, I missed a day of work, I paid $0. You didn't really win anything. Maybe that was a bad example.
Man, you were full of bad examples today.
I'm not a good example guy. I'll get one by the end of this.
Not a good exemplar? All right.
That's my Batman villain, the bad exemplar.
What's his catchphrase?
How about this is like if I stepped in dog shit and then went to Thanksgiving. The bad exemplar strikes again.
That is a bad example of a bad example. It really is. It's meta almost what you're doing.
We're doing
and
a
it's
Russian
also
doll.
clunky and what a
clunky.
weird thing to have. That's a weird catchphrase to have to keep saying over and over again.
That's true. Yeah.
And is there a superpower involved or?
I think you confuse Batman because he's like, it's another bad example. I can't tell what the hell this guy's talking about. So I'm a confuser, unlike the Riddler.
So you'd be working maybe in conjunction with somebody who actually does something. So you would go in and
I guess so.
confuse him for a minute or two.
Yeah,
Maybe not even a minute, maybe a couple seconds.
Yeah, my costume would be I would be scratching my head.
That's your costume?
That'd be my symbol on here. Just a guy like,
okay,
because they don't get it.
Would you have to keep your identity secret?
I think I should. Yeah, as most villains do.
You don't really seem like a villain, though. The bad exemplar.
I was just giving a bad example.
Oh wow! Again, it's come full circle. Brought it around.
Deep in a hole.
Very nice. Do you have anything you want to promote? I don't know when this will come out. Who knows?
Week.
Boy,
really?
Are we done already?
No.
Okay.
No, just wait. Is it? Are we?
Tony's this week and Mark is next week.
Do we have any banked?
No.
Holy shiza.
Yikes.
Okay. Well, sorry, Mark. You're it.
I'm ready. Put it out.
I was going to say, do you have anything you want to promote or whatever?
Sure. Yeah. I'm doing the Ryman in Nashville. Come on out to that and listen to my podcast, Tuesdays with Stories, and We Might Be Drunk, which David has been on. We had a fun time. Had a couple of brewskis. And follow me on the interwebs and all that good stuff.
All right. What are you doing at the Ryman? That's cool.
Stand up.
It's just like a one-off thing?
It's a one show, one hour set, doing it the Wild West Comedy Fest, whatever that is.
Oh, nice.
And so I love Nashville, so come on out.
Why would they call a comedy festival in Nashville the Wild West comedy show?
Yeah, I never even thought about that.
It's not even west of in the state.
No.
It's in the east.
That's a good point. I guess it's like a cowboy theme, but yeah, you got something there. Should be the Honky Tonk Fest or something.
Man, that fucking what is it? Broadway, right? Where all the holy shit.
Bummer.
That is. I do like Nashville. You ever go to Dino's?
Yeah.
I love Dino's.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I like Nashville. I did tell them, I was just there a couple weeks ago, and I said, and I've been going there off and on for, decades, but I said, speaking as somebody who is from Atlanta and spent a bunch of time in Seattle and lives in Brooklyn and goes to Austin, Texas a lot, listen to what I'm saying. There is a point where you need to stop building.
So true.
You are going to lose your character. Nashville is very on the cusp of losing its character, which every place I've mentioned, like I still love Brooklyn, love Seattle, love Atlanta, love Austin, but man, they're different in not a good way.
Yeah, I completely agree. Nashville is getting a little sceney.
But it's just too. They've got those like the Gulch, right? Which is those mixed use, but also people live there. But then there are these kind of like oddly corporate, like small chain restaurant bar places. It's like Dumbo here. You ever go to Dumbo?
Yes.
Dumbo is like what? This is like a yuppie playground. You know, it's just fucking. And I lost all its charm and character.
Yeah, it looks great because you have the old buildings and the streets and the cobblestone and the Brooklyn Bridge in the distance. But
exterior wise, it looks awesome. But
yeah, you look in, you're
totally lost.
It's a yoga studio. That's a graphic design firm with a ping pong table. Yeah, it's completely lost its culture.
Anyway, Nashville is, I think, at the tipping point of that.
I completely agree.
You know, there's a point where it's diminishing returns on all your development and stuff.
I think it's like anything in life. It gets too big, it's too popular, and it starts to dilute.
Yeah. I don't, well...
Look at comedy.
Yeah,
we used to have all these great comics. There was like 8 comics, and now it's like, I don't want to say any names. But, you know...
Like, are you talking about Theo Von? You talking about Matt Rife?
I like Theo.
He seems nice.
Talk about Nashville.
Was he a Nashville guy?
Yeah, he's a Nashville guy. Funny guy. I mean, he's had...
So who then are you talking about? Because I assumed...
I don't want to name names.
Well, name them. I named a couple, and you're talking about the Paul brothers?
Are they doing comedy?
No, I don't know.
Oh, they might start. Please don't start doing comedy, those queefs. But, Chris Kattan is doing stand-up for some reason, stuff like that, where you're like,
you're talking about like, Tom Brady and John Mayer are
Stormy Daniels.
There you go, sure. That's been around, though, where people kind of take their 15 minutes, not necessarily 15 minutes, but you know what I mean, they are known for this other thing, and they decide, hey, I want to do stand-up.
Yeah.
And, okay, so I've told you about this before, but I'm going to say it again. AG1 is a... vitamin, probiotic, prebiotic, adaptogens, whatever those are, and it's a powder. You mix it with water, and I do use it. I truly do use it, and I've I don't want to say stolen boxes from here, but I've taken them without telling people. Implied consent. There you go. But I have, and I take the packets with me on the road because I can at least ensure that I'm getting these vitamins and things that I'm an old man and my body's breaking down. That I wouldn't normally get when I'm eating fried cheese curds at midnight, and I'm having a hazy IPA, and then in the morning, downing 2 cups of coffee. It's not good for you. It's not good for the gut. But AG1 is good for the gut. And me, I like to mix it with coconut water and then a fruit juice of some kind. But it's good. I like it. So this holiday season, try AG1 for yourself or even gift it to someone special. It's the perfect time to focus on supporting your body with an easy and surprisingly delicious daily health drink. And that's why I'm so excited to be partnering with them. Every week of November, AG1 will be running a special Black Friday offer for a free gift with your first subscription. In addition to the welcome kit with vitamin D3 plus K2. So make sure to check out drinkag1.com/senses to see what gift you can get this week. That's drinkag1.com/senses to start your holiday season off on a healthier note. While supplies last.
Frustrating.
Now, I haven't seen him, but I've heard John Mayer is like an insufferable stand-up guy.
I heard the same, but I think he's since given up.
Okay, cool.
Thank God.
Yeah, I heard some really bad,
yeah.
And then things he said were like doubling down on stage when people would give him shit, which is a thing that you have to learn as a stand-up.
Yeah.
It takes a long time. And you can't just go up there banking on celebrity and go. And then when people are, however they express it, not happy with the thing you said, you better know how to respond to that. And then just for a guy to go, fuck you, I'm a millionaire, or whatever. It's like, what?
That's the opposite of comedy.
Yes, exactly.
But I'm completely with you. But the problem with stand-up, what's great about it and what's horrible about it is there's no barrier to entry. You know, you don't have to learn a guitar, you don't have to learn the piano, or even learn your lines.
Yeah.
You can just go up and start talking, and you're like, I'm holding a microphone. I'm at a comedy club. I'm a comic.
Well, and then you are, and that's kind of cool in a way, but there are a number of people, and every scene has it, and every decade has had it within their scenes, where there are people who go to the open mic nights, to perform, who just are, I suppose, deluded because they're not doing well. Mm-hmm. They do pretty much the same 7-minute set for years. I get the adrenaline rush and the how cool that thing is, because I had it. There's a social aspect. Some of those guys, though, and women are not part of that. They're not really hanging out after. They're so bad, and they just. And I'm talking every scene, and every era has a number of those people who, like you said, you go sign up, you get the mic, you go up, and they just don't understand that they're not good. Yeah. Not just that, they don't even actually like comedy. You go, hey, you ever heard that Chris Rock bit? And they go, I never watched him. What about Carlin? Who? And you're like, what are you doing here? Do you have any reverence? That I haven't. I don't know anybody that fits that
that's
description.
Out there. That's out there now. That's happened to me like a week ago. So,
and what do you think the reason was that they decided to do stand-up?
I think for you, what you said, I think it's, hey, I'll get a video of me. I'll get a adrenaline boost. It'll be dopamine. I get to tell people I'm a comic. I get to check off a bucket list thing.
Well, I guess I'm talking more about the people who continue to do it year after year.
Oh, I see.
And they do it for years, and they rarely write any new material.
Yes.
And quite often it's on the safer side. So, and they just, every scene, every era has it. There's a number of people who you see them at the open mic nights, you're like, what are you getting?
I know.
What are you doing? You're driving in from New Hampshire.
I think people don't have not a lot of people have a thing. So they're like, this will be my thing. And I'll half-ass it. Yeah. I'll never progress, but it's my thing.
Yeah. What made you, or I shouldn't say what, but when did you know you had to get out of New Orleans, which isn't known for its stand-up scene?
No way. It still really hasn't. It almost had a moment in the early 2000s, but it never really popped. The clubs open and close. No one cares. People want to go see music. They want to get drunk. They want to dance. So it never really took off there. But I left after about 8 months.
Oh, wow. That was quick.
Sean Patton lived here, so I said, all right, that's kind of my lifeline. I'll go meet up with him in New York, and I always wanted to live in New York, so I got out quick. There's a real ceiling, like a Brad Williams height ceiling in New Orleans comedy. So I got the hell
Google
out.
Brad Williams for the joke.
Yes. We would drive to Lafayette, Houston, Atlanta, whatever, Florida.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why. Well, I guess, as you said, people want music. They want to get drunk. But, I've been doing New Orleans over the years. Way back in the day, I did Howlin' Wolf a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
And I did 2 tours ago. I did the Joy Theater, and it was not a good show. It was really... It was kind of early, too. I remember it was like a 7 o'clock show or something weird like that. And... it was like half full, maybe, and the audience was just like, it wasn't a good show. And then a couple months ago, we did Tipitina's. It was Sean, Patton, Shane, Torres, and myself, and it was sold out, packed, and it was fucking awesome.
Hell yeah!
So there's a way to do it.
There's a way to do it.
And I think the Howlin' Wolf shows were good, and that was also standing. It was a music venue where everybody stood instead of sitting down. But man, that Joy Theater show was like, ugh, this sucks.
You have to really, what do you call it? Not cultivate. You have to really like manufacture your show. Like, you really have to, what do you call that when you really get in there nitty gritty? Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? You really gotta, you know what I'm saying?
I'm watching your gestures.
Sister, what am I talking? She's out to lunch. All right. What's the word where you really gotta caricature or,
No, that's not that.
It starts with a C, I think.
Okay, we're down to
curate. I can't believe I got it. You got to curate your show in New Orleans because it's so easy to go off the rails and not be good. Like the Joy Theater is too general. I'm at a theater. If you like me, come out. I'm sure Sean got in there with a scalpel and was like, "Hey, let's do this show. Dave's coming. Here's his link. Here's a clip. You know this guy. You really got to get in there." In New Orleans, or else it'll just go off the rails too.
Well,
too
Sean
easy.
was saying as much too. Like it's just New Orleans is not a great comedy city.
It's not
for whatever reason. Yeah,
I wish it was, but it got me out of there.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a new sponsor, Prize Picks. Okay, so Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in over 30 states, including California, Florida, Georgia, and Texas. And Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy so that your lineup stays in play even if one of your players gets injured. If your player leaves in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks keeps your lineup live. Oh, and Prize Picks now offers Venmo for quick and easy deposits and withdrawals into your account this sports season. Hey, so here's how it works. Like, do you think Justin Jefferson will get more than 83.5 yards next week? Do you think Lamar Jackson might pass for more than 1.5 touchdowns? Well, you can run your game on Prize Picks. It's the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones aren't? Probably the Patriots aren't. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday. Each Tuesday, Prize Picks discounts selected player projections up to 25% to provide even more value for your lineups. Okay, so download the app today and use code SENSES to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's Senses to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
Do you go back? Is your family there and all that?
Oh yeah, I go back every year for Thanksgiving or Mardi Gras or whatever, Jazz Fest. I saw the Stones this year, and I have a show at the Orpheum, which is a big theater downtown.
Yeah.
And it's like 30% sold, and I'm like, I'm from there.
Yeah,
So
but
it's
I mean,
tough.
also that downtown area isn't. That's not good either.
No, it's like Bourbon or Broadway in Nashville.
and oof, yeah, it's well, Broadway is in Nashville feels totally tourist driven.
Yes.
Like it's nothing. It's Times Square, right? And nobody who's from New York or lives in New York goes to hang out in Times Square,
No.
and I doubt anybody who's lives in Nashville is like, hey, let's stroll up Broadway and go to the
That's true.
the whatever theme,
The Taylor
90
Swift theme bar.
just oof. And I happened to be there too on when the Predators were playing, and Vanderbilt was playing somebody, and then there was another
no.
thing. The Country Music Academy had some.
Jesus.
It was nuts. It was, and I ended up staying and thank God, because I think initially I was going to stay down there, and then I ended up staying somewhere else because the hotel rates were insane, But man, what a fucking nightmare that.
Sorry. Yeah, it's a nightmare. I'm with you on that one. Oh, we lost Cross. All right. I had an egg wrap earlier. The egg, it'll get you. Sorry, I should have given you some warning there, but I think I tilted it to the right.
If you gave me a warning, I would have said, you go out. I'm not going out.
That's a good point.
I'm not going to clear Emma out of here. You're the one who needs to go out and fart in your own face.
That's true. Sorry, I did direct it to the right a little.
No, you didn't.
Oh,
you went this way.
I went right leg up.
No,
didn't I? Check
roll
the
it back.
tape.
Roll it
back. Don't really roll it back.
That's fucking disgusting.
Sorry. Well, I figured you're a comedian.
No,
you like
you
a
don't-
good fart joke.
But that wasn't a joke. It was just a fart.
Well, a fart is
you're a comedian. You'd like a good fart.
a fart is a joke in itself, is it not? It's my butt made a noise.
Boy,
That's
you're gonna,
comedy
you're gonna
gold.
be a great dad.
I can't wait.
Oh boy.
Does your wife fart?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. Mine really lets him rip.
Yeah, I think everyone's wives fart. It's part of being independent feminist.
Yeah, that was the big bra burning. Was voting and farting.
She's a prolific farter.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
And we'll definitely let him rip.
Do you shit with the door open?
No,
Okay.
no.
I do.
She
She likes it. She wants to keep the convo going.
I think part of it is because I grew up with two sisters and a mom, and I was the only, once my dad left, I was the only boy, and so really have a kind of sense of that privacy. Also, we didn't have a lot of money, so we're, in a small apartment, so going into the bathroom was like 5 minutes apiece.
I hear that.
So there was some, it was not a good movie. It was a movie about some brothers, or either they were in foster care or something together in Detroit. It had Andre 3000 and Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, yeah, I think it's called Four Brothers.
Four brothers? Okay.
I believe so.
So there's a scene. I didn't see the whole movie. I saw 25 minutes. It wasn't very good. But there's a scene where one guy's in the bathtub, there's another guy taking a shit, and then they're all, I'm dumb directing. We're like, why don't you eat a bowl of cereal while you're shit? One of those things.
Yeah.
And they're all talking, like one guy's reading the newspaper, and they're all, and like, really?
Yeah.
What are
that's
you,
forced.
in fucking prison?
Yeah.
Like,
contrived.
yeah.
Now, did you think you were going to make it when you started comedy? Because you're very unique.
I didn't.
You did come up in a perfect David Cross era. That era was made for you. The whole alternative scene with Bob and Tom. I'm not Bob and Tom, jeez. Bob and Dave.
Bob and Ray.
Yeah, I was going off a radio show from the 90s. Remember Bob and Tom?
I do remember Bob
Midwest?
and Tom. Yeah. I do remember that.
But yeah, that show, Mr. Show, was like, that was the right place, the right time.
Yeah, for sure. That's very true. And it was in luckily, Kismet wise, we were on HBO before HBO was a behemoth, when they were trying to make become distinctive. And their whole thing was, it's not TV, it's HBO. And they said to us, early on, like, we're not interested in, SNL, whatever. You have to, not that we altered anything to do this, but it's why it worked out, is, the deal was, we're going to give you $9 to make a show, but there's no notes. There's barely any notes. The whole 4 seasons, we got less than one handful.
I love that.
And they were like, just do what you guys do, and that's why you're on HBO. And again, HBO's changed dramatically, but
Sure.
But back then it was great. They're like, yeah, come do it, and I was in Boston when that whole scene was coming up, and I never would have gotten the skill set that I eventually came to have if I wasn't in Boston, because during that comedy boom, and Boston in particular, certainly per capita, more than any other place in America for whatever reason, there were just a million shows at Chinese restaurants and, fucking wherever, you know.
VFW.
And you had to they had to fill them out.
Yeah.
So I got work that I think in another time in another place I would not have gotten the work, because they just needed somebody. Here's $30, go do 20 minutes and, just don't fuck it up for the guy following you,
But I feel like you're very you, and I feel like Boston was kind of this machismo, beer swigging, coke doing macho shit.
Yes, but so there was definitely that, but then the whole thing of like where quote unquote alternative comedy came from was it was
a response to that.
Yeah. And there was the our club was Catch a Rising Star in Cambridge, which is by Harvard Square, which already has its fucking hoity-toity, persona to it, just because you're on that street. And the other clubs are, and Boston's got a weird. You've been there. It's got
many times.
It's got a real weird, short guy kind of complex, and it's like people are always talking about like, New York's this, but it's not Boston. And like, people in New York think that, like, nobody fucking thinks about Boston at all.
Not really.
It's not. Stop it. Just be you. Be happy with where you are. But it's got a weird, self-esteem issue, I guess. They're always talking to you about how great it is, and it's very provincial. It's and that's a knock on it, unfortunately. But and Boston, more than other places, is really two very different area. I mean, there are fucking working class jamoke, guys, bro, working the steel yard type of
Irish blue collar.
Blue collar. And then there's the, progressive, artsy, wellness community, goth, hippie, punk, it's real separate, and I don't mean separate like they're geographically. It's just they're two very distinct, different types of people that all, because it's a smaller city, are all kind of moving amongst themselves. And
but I think that makes it good for comedy.
It was great. It was fucking great. And then, as I said, the you had your places like Comedy Connection and Nick's and what else? The Stitches, and I'm forgetting some that were downtown.
The
and
Vault,
Dick Doherty's The Vault. What was the one on the right near Nick's? Comedy Connection. And Sam's, and those had the comics you're talking about, the coked up guys who just did, they were great comics, but they rarely wrote any new stuff, and they looked down on, success. Like I remember when Dennis Leary got successful, and it was kind of like it was just that thing of like, oh, he fucking went Hollywood. And this idea of purity and all this shit. And then the Janine Garofalo and Laura Keitlinger and Mark Maron, and Mark and Louie had a foot in both of those spaces, but a lot of people didn't, and that's kind of where I was in that thing. And again, I got completely lucky because I got work when normally, like, I wasn't doing well, and normally you just needed people in there, and I fucking learned a lot, and I ate a lot of shit, and I got tough, and there's I can't have a worse audience than some of the audiences I had, in Boston and around there. Like I've done it, I got it, and it's it wasn't fun at the time, but fuck, I mean it worked out.
Yeah, boy, did it.
So
you gotta feel pretty good about that.
I do, and you asked earlier whether I always knew I was going to make it, and I never knew I was going to make it, but I always knew I knew that I wasn't ever going to quit stand-up. And the fact that I didn't for many years when I was barely making any money and it was a chore, you know. And you're driving to fucking Rutland, Vermont for $40 and some egg rolls, you know?
Been there.
And that, you know, it's fucking 21 degrees and a snowstorm and you're in your shitty car. And it just, you know, that when you're doing that over and over and over and over again, you know, I never had that, I'm going to make it and da-da-da-da. I just, there wasn't, it never entered my mind like, I really need to figure out my options here.
No,
and,
same.
So you just do it, and you either have that innately, I think, or you don't.
And there was a romance to it. You know, you got your half in the bag, you got your buddies in your car, you're swerving out on ice, going to some gig, and you drive home at 2 a.m, and then you go shovel the ditch in the morning or whatever it is, and you were young, and it was
but
an
also,
adventure.
I laughed a lot.
Yes.
And also, I don't care that, and maybe this is partly what separated me from some other folks, but the fact that I upset some people at a shitty ski lodge, you know, cocktail bar up in fucking Stowe or something, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Because you're a stranger. I don't know a fucking thing about you, and you didn't like my joke about whatever. I don't care.
Right.
But
don't you want to kill?
Yes, I do. And there's a Bob is always saying, and I've fucking tried to correct him a million times. So he's under the perception that I would go on stage trying to bomb, and that's not true. I would try my best. I pride myself in being a professional, but if you suss it out after 30 seconds a minute, 2 minutes, and you're like, this isn't going to work. And then I will go and push buttons. But I don't ever go out there going, fuck you, assholes. I'm not like Red Fox on that famous story.
You have a little Larry David in you.
Yeah.
That kind of like, this isn't going to work out. Let's go nuclear.
Yeah. For sure. But I always give it a shot. Always. And I pride myself in, winning them back. We getting people back. So, and I wouldn't be at the place I'm at now if I didn't.
That's true.
So, yeah.
Well, you're a rare breed where you can do the silly stuff. Well, you can do the stand up, but you can also paint yourself blue.
What the fucking?
That's me.
What?
Did you miss bro time or something? What happened? Did you
Bro
not get
time?
to watch the football game yesterday?
I don't watch football.
Well, that's all right. Why don't you start watching football, and then you could save all your burps and your farts for the game.
All right, I didn't know this was tea time over here at the Cross residence.
It's
what is this, Downton Abbey? Huh? Etiquette class? I thought we were just hanging out. She queefed earlier.
That's not true.
All right.
No, that was me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was very airy. But sorry, it won't happen again. That's the last expel of my body.
Here's the thing. It's not that you farted or that you burped. It's not. It's this. And then and then
Yeah.
So there's a way to do both of those things.
I see.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you an only kid?
No, older brother.
Oh, of course. Well, there you go.
What does that mean?
That means he would have taught you that.
No, he's very dainty. Not dainty, but he's very sophisticated.
So I would infer that you realize you're not sophisticated.
I guess so.
You're coarse. You're common. You're
Common, that's good.
You're just
Sewer garbage.
you're chud.
Chud. I like that. I would say chode if we're being realistic.
No, chud.
I have a
something underwater. Underground dweller.
Oh, is that a chud?
Yeah, there was a horror movie called Chud, and it was something underground dweller.
Oh, kind of like Marta.
No.
Oh, it's not a. What do you call that?
Oh, yes.
An anagram?
Not an anagram, an acronym.
An acronym.
Yeah.
We got it.
An acronym is an allowance creatively. I don't remember.
You got this, Dave. Come on.
I'm giving up on my joke.
An acronym is a. What's another example of one? Like FEMA.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
But MARTA was just something that somebody put onto MARTA.
Yes.
They made up their own acronym.
Again, that took time. That racist guy had to probably get pen to paper on that.
Yeah, I mean, and it somebody somewhere was taking credit for it. Never met him.
Yeah.
And there's somebody like, I came up with that.
Yeah.
That was me.
We should do that sketch. That'd be a great sketch. The racist joke savant who gets no credit.
Man, Bob had a really good idea for a sketch we never ended up doing about all the hip hop guys were getting they would go visit this like old Southern racist guy on his porch in, Georgia or wherever. And it was basically, he would take, their lyrics and he's like, oh, niggas ain't shit, but da-da-da, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then they would all sit there and listen and write it down and then they go.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's a great sketch.
It was a good idea. Yeah.
That's very Chappelle showy.
Yeah. Pre-Chappelle.
Pre. But I like that.
Yeah.
You gonna bleep that N-word or what?
No, because it's the A. It's the AH.
I don't know if that flies.
Yeah, AH.
Okay. It's your show. See,
It is my show.
That's worse than farting.
I disagree. I don't think when you're in the context of this idea, I think you should be able to communicate it as it's intended.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not a big proponent of that. Like if you're literally quoting somebody,
yeah,
you should quote them. You should say that. And if you have a issue with that, then good. You have an issue with it and it makes you feel a certain way.
I'm not offended. I just worry about people getting mad at you.
Oh, that's fine.
All right. I respect that.
It's fine. People are always, somebody somewhere is always going to be mad at me.
That's true.
That's fine.
That's true.
Mark, I'm going to have to wrap it up because I am parked on 17th and 4th.
You got the baby in the car.
And yep, and it's hot out.
Uh-huh.
So I end every episode with a question from my daughter.
Ooh.
Okay.
I never touched her.
Okay.
All right.
Good stuff.
Sorry.
So this is from my daughter. It's a question. And you can answer it in whatever way you see fit. Mark Normand, why do girl dogs squat and pee, and why do boy dogs lift their legs to pee?
Ooh, I think it's genitalia or the anatomy, I assume. The male dogs have a wiener or a red rocket or a lipstick, as we call it in the business. And I think they got to get that away from the leg. So they lift the leg up.
Mm-hmm.
Let it fly, and then the squatting, the vaginal urethra can just be close to the earth and hit the grass. Hence the squat.
Makes perfect sense.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
I don't
Thanks for
see
coming down.
gender.
That was a Headgum podcast.